Hi, this is Maya, and today in this lesson I'm going to teach you how to draw a chibi girl. So chibi is a very popular style of drawing anime, and they're really just kind of humans shrunk down. And this is actually, we're not even going to draw the tiniest of chibis you can go, but kind of a middle ground, which I find to be really cute. And how we're going to do that is just start off by drawing a circle for the head and a tiny little neck. The neck should be pretty thick compared to what we would normally do for a regular proportioned anime character. We're going to box out a little torso. And you'll find if you really just took a character and kind of just squished it all together, that's exactly what we're going to do. A bottom half and some legs. And we're going to draw two arms. So that right there is your basic template for drawing your chibi. What we're going to do now is draw a couple of lines horizontally for the placement of the eyes. And what I'm actually going to do first, which is I usually don't do on characters, is I'm going to actually block out some of the hair first. Normally, you'd want to block out the eyes and the nose and the mouth first, but because this is a chibi and the proportions are completely different than a normal character anyway, it's safe to go ahead and block out the hair. Also drawing in a collar, she's going to be in a little school uniform. And this line here is going to be her sweater. She's going to wear a little V-neck sweater. Try to not worry about the clothes very much, especially since this is chibi. What I'm working here is the skirt. I'm just going to do a little pleated skirt. And finally, this shirt. I'm going to fill in the hands. Fingers and hands I find to be extremely difficult, but luckily, again, this is chibi, so we don't have to put too much detail into it. You could actually just leave the hands as they were if you don't want to worry about fingers. But if you want to, you can go ahead and fill in the fingers as I'm doing. She's going to have her hands kind of open. She could almost be spinning, so we're just going to kind of layer the fingers behind her like that. And fill in the legs. What I'm going to do for the legs is just leave them as they are. Kind of define them a little bit more, make them a little thinner. And then we're going to fill in the eyes. Proportionally, chibi eyes are going to be quite big. And noses are going to be minimal. You can go ahead and make the mouth pretty big too. The cheeks should be very round. We're actually almost keeping that exact circle shape that we put in first. What I'm going to do here is kind of tame the hair a little bit. Just to make her a little cuter, I'm going to put some pigtails in instead of just the open hair. Also going to put in some eyebrows and some eyelids. And you have your basic outline for your chibi. You can see how cute she's going to be. Just going in here and adding a few lines, the folds in the clothes. And we can start inking. I'm using a Prismacolor pen to do this, and it's 0.5 is the size. We always block in the hair first. The only exception is if you're drawing a boy, and you can go ahead and block in the chin first. But for girls especially, the hair overlaps a lot of the facial features, so you want to make sure that you draw those in after the hair so that you don't have to overlap anything. And even though her hair is in pigtails, I'm still giving it a lot of room for volume and for waves, as you can see. And here I'm just adding a couple of strands of hair where the hair is pulled into the buns. And we can start blocking out the clothes. The V and the sweater. And the fingers and the hands. Just be really careful about those because for this size of pen that I'm using, I actually should probably use a smaller size, but the tiny details like fingers can get really difficult, so just be careful when doing those. Filling in the lines in the shirt, the lines in the skirt. And you can see that kind of layered effect because this is a pleated skirt. And finally, filling in the legs. Now we're going to draw in the eyes. And what you want to try to do is leave some space between the eyelashes and the actual circle of the eye, the iris. That way you give her a very open-eyed look. And a couple of eyelashes. And you can start filling in the eyebrows and eyelids, as well as put in a little shine and a pupil. We're actually going to fill in the top part of the eye with that black just to give the eye some more depth, and we fill in the mouth. You can see that she's already coming to life. A few eyelashes at the bottom of the eye, and your outlining is pretty much complete, so we're going to erase now. Depending on what kind of pen you're using, just make sure you give your pen lines enough time to dry so that you don't end up smearing them. And after you finish erasing, you'll have the option of coloring, or you can go ahead and sign your name, and your Chibi girl will be complete. Before we do that, I'm just going to add in a couple lines here and there just to make her pop a little bit more, connect a couple of lines that weren't connected before. We're also going to add in a couple of lines here in the hair, and then sign your name. And your Chibi girl is complete.